Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. Welcome to the show. My name is Joe Oriani, and I am your host for the next 10 to 18 minutes. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, please tell some friends. My clicks are going down a little. It could be my political point of views, but I don't care. Anyway, if you want to get a hold of the show, go to my website, www.truthchat.fun. You can leave a voicemail, a suggestion. Other than jumping off a building, I won't pay no attention to it. If you have a disagreement with what I said and you want to discuss it and you want to be on the air, or if you agree with what I said and you have your own opinions, I will gladly put you on. Okay, otherwise you can contact me by my email, Joe Oriani Podcast at yahoo.com. I respond to everyone, no matter what. The only subject that I will not discuss with anybody is abortion. I am not a woman, and I have no clue how that works or what they go through and what goes into the idea. So that is one subject that is a no-win situation. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something on my last podcast. I forgot to say this. I want to talk about Israel for a moment. The 5 hostages got shot in the back of the head. How thrilling it is to be a Hamas fighter, and how brave it is to sit there and take a gun and pull the trigger on 4 men and 1 woman. Boom, gee, that's very brave of you. And then Hamas, who says they don't rape women, are so full of crap it's coming out their ears. And of course, you have Kamala. We will get a lot on Kamala today because she's a total moron. But anyway, right now I'm reading something that says hundreds of Hezbollah fighters wounded in Lebanon after their pages explode. Unprecedented event hacked by Israel. Now that's cool. They all have their little pages and they all blew up on them. That is great. Great, 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 great. I like that idea. Oh, so anyway, and I have a study here too that says 40% of Republicans won't accept the results if Trump loses. I don't particularly buy that. Trump is on the verge of losing. He needs to be careful what he spouts. Eating the cats, yes, that's not actually very true. He quoted from somebody online and ran with it. He got an Ohio sheriff. He says to write down addresses of homes with Harris's signs. That's not good either. You know, both sides need to grow up, whether you're Democrat or Republican. Now, we're going to get to that weirdo who tried to kill the president the other day. But first, let's talk about the debate. There's a couple things going on here, and there's a couple opinions. One is she had the answers, and 2, ahead of time, or the questions, and 2, she had this little earring, and I see the picture of it online, that it's like a radio receiver. You can hear voices. Well, I hear voices all the time in my head too, but beside that, because she started out as a total moron, and all of a sudden she went to like Einstein in that debate. And then she ended up like a total moron. For example, the other day, she was asked, what would you do to help people improve their life? And she went and rambled about cutting lawn. Like, geez, give me a straight answer, lady. So anyway, that debate, the 2 moderators were definitely anti-Trump. They didn't correct Kamala on anything. So the result of that was like a 3-on-1 mugging. So who do I think won that debate? I think, based on everything I put together, Kamala won the debate. Trump and the American people lost the debate. The reason I say Trump lost the debate, he didn't stand a chance. I'm sorry. He was getting knocked down, and she was getting under his skin. But if you have the answers or you hear voices in the earrings, that is the way it goes. I just couldn't believe that answer she gave the other day about how you're going to improve people's lives. Just sits there and says, oh, you know, I was growing up, I was into lawn care. Never answered the question. And the ABC host, again, in this little interview, didn't follow up with her and say, what the hell are you saying, lady? If she wins this election, I'll be, well, not only disappointed, scared, shocked. I don't know what she stands for. She might be a good person, basically, but give me some answers. You want me to vote for you? Answer the question. Kamala. And now let's talk about Trump. The man accused of plotting Trump allegedly had kept a 1,000-pound beast living in his living room, which was a horse, of course. What am I, Wizard of Oz? Yes, it was a horse, of course, of course. This guy looks screwy. He looks like he had breasts. So I don't know what that was about when he got arrested. He's gonna have a fun time in prison. We shall see. He sat there for 12 hours with that nozzle pointed at that golf course. Thank God a newer agent seen it and shot 4 times at it, scared him away. He dropped the gun and all. And when he gets stopped, he acts like it's nonchalant. He wanted Iran to kill Trump. You know what I told you about the last time about all these lunatics running around? It was a fine example. And it's funny because he was on the cops' radar and the Secret Service's radar, but they paid no attention to it. So, and then here he goes, just one day after the attempt on President Trump's life, when everybody's calling for civility, you have Hillary Clinton calls Trump a threat to the planet just one day after the second attempt on his life. Hillary, he's not dangerous. You are. We had him for 4 years and he was fine. There was no wars, border was closed, taxes were low, gas prices were low. Do we seem to forget what happened? Are we as Americans that stupid? That influenced by somebody changing the history? For the last 3.5 years, whether you like it or not, Kamala was Biden's last person to leave the room person. And she takes no blame for nothing. And she still loves Bidenomics. And what's that got you? Less money in your pocket. So anyway, and I don't know if you remember that moron, that immigrant, that migrant influencer who bragged about handouts and TikTok is now being deported. Thank God. Oh, they got in jail. At least they got him alive. He wanted to go fight in Ukraine, but they said he was too crazy to be there. Ukraine wouldn't even take him. So, everything here happens for a reason, but please lock them mentally ill up. And on that one I wrote, coming to take me away, that's exactly what it was. I don't think Trump wants to play golf, but actually he's going out campaigning this week. And Florida is going to launch a criminal probe into the assassination attempt. And Joe Biden, speaking of lost, still nowhere to be found. No idea what Joe thinks, no idea what Joe wants. I don't know who the hell is running the government. Everybody's just disappeared. Nobody's talking about the border. Nobody's talking about anything. Now, if the Feds lower the rate 1/4 of a point this week, the Democrats will be, oh, looky. It's such a positive outlook. You go to the grocery store. Sometimes I pick up meat and I have to put it down. Like, holy crap. Can't believe it. So we shall see. Now, on to the next thing that I find impressive. Is Israel still fighting this war? Ukraine still fighting the war? Did you see that tunnel in Israel last week? Oh my God, you could have a whole city underneath there. You know what I thought about? Instead of them spending all that money on tunnels and electric going through them tunnels, build up your infrastructure. Be good to your people. But you're not. You use them as shields. You abuse them as much as anybody else, but they're too docile or too afraid to revolt. And I would. I don't care what they say. Anyway, let's go back to here. I want to see something interesting here. Oh, you'll find this interesting. I had seen that Trump's golf outings has been a long concern for the agency. How did the guy know he was going to go out and do that day? It wasn't on the schedule. Nobody knows. And speaking of nobody knows nothing, Trudeau faces pressure to quit after the party loses his long-held parliament seat. Trudeau is nothing but a communist. So Canada, I know a lot of you click on, You guys need to get rid of him. Please. Just as we're trying to get rid of Biden, but we're kind of stupid. We'll probably keep them for a bunch of idiots. So Americans, once again, are going to prove to the world what cheap we are. We follow the majority of votes because most of the Democrats are most outspoken when you don't agree with them. The Republicans kind of just shrug their shoulders and say, whatever, you're a moron. But the Democrats get violent, they get nasty, they get combative. If this was what America wants for the next 4 years, you know how to vote. You know, voting back in 1950s, if you even mention the word communist, 1952, and they'd have you up hogtied and burnt. But here now, the enemy within is getting to us. I don't know what else to say other than Florida right now, thank knock on wood, doesn't have any hurricanes on a foreseeable future. We were supposed to get so many of them. But, you know, then I said, well, it's climate change. Yeah, well, if it's climate change, there's no hurricanes, but that's okay then. We can deal with that. What are you going to blame it on? I know it's the Sahara dust coming off the coast of Africa that's keeping them down. A lot of other places getting pounded, like North Carolina, the Pacific. But little Florida sitting here minding our own business. Let's keep it that way. Temperature should be dropping. Winter should be upon us soon. Today's high is only going to be 87, which is nice. Humidity sucks, but hey, goes the job. Now, just to let you know, for those who want to know, my surgery on my spine went well. It still hurts. I have to go back next month to see the doctor. I still can't walk right. And speaking of walking right, we are about to book, I think Thursday, a cruise that starts in Barcelona, Spain, and for 10 days, 12 days, something like that. It goes around and around. It ends up in Athens. We hit Rome, Venice, and a few other places. Most expensive part of the trip, it was on a cruise line I use all the time, but the most expensive part of the trip was the airfare. You know, like $2,500 round trip. That's a lot of freaking money, folks. The cruise itself is only $5, so, but it's all included. Anyway, that we'll be doing, I think, July 20th. So everybody else, have a nice day, and don't forget, respond. I don't mind talking to myself. I tell you that all the time. And just remember, if you're not laughing, you're not living. And I will say this in regards to that. Most of us these days do not have much at all to laugh about. But if you can laugh at stupid people and stupid things and think to yourself, be the only normal person in the world. I mean, look at me. I talk to myself every week. I consider that very normal. Because nobody listens to me anyway. I'm opinionated, stubborn, I'm not politically correct, and I'm friggin' old. So anyway, with that, smile, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next week. There's something going on today. I'm not sure. I haven't really checked the news out. But anyway, have fun. The world goes around and around and around. Tell your friends, hop on the merry-go-round.
You figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the holes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the holes. You figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the holes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the holes. I just wanna be there when you're lonely and you scared, finding yourself in a place that is nowhere, and everything piling up ready to hit the fan, and the outcome's about to be real bad. Look, I know how it feels. I got a lot of questions, and to a lot of them I still haven't found the answers. They say read between the lines, I even read it backwards. Then you're still confused and emotions are massive. But you figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the holes. It ain't never gon' stop. This is how the journey goes. It's just gon' be another survival kit. I got some knowledge, I'm just giving you a bit. Something you can listen to even if you're lit. A message in the bottle, well, you figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You figure it out as you go. There gon' be a lot of ups and downs on the road. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes. You gon' have to swerve to avoid all the hoes.